Good evening to all of you. Okay, so this is a program under the Institutional Development Plan, IDP of Canvas, which has been supported by the ICR. So we invite eminent speakers to speak on varied topics which will stimulate, motivate, encourage, and then also make students to understand their potential. So we have been having series of speakers coming and talking, and we call all these kind of activities as soft skills. So in this regard, we have been doing a program called stress neutralization. All of you know what is stress, right? All of you know what is stress? Yes, sir. Okay. So now the speaker has undergone a lot of stress because of the adjustment of the mic, everything, PowerPoint. And I have been under stress when it will get over. So this kind of stress, and for you, may not be having much stress because we always sleep in the class. So you do relax a lot, but still, to neutralize your stress, to know what kind of activities that will help you to be a stabilized or a balanced person. Today we have with us Dr. Vidya Hari, who is going to talk about identifying inner happiness. She spoke yesterday on Zoom. I think a few of the students who are present here would have attended that. Day before yesterday also she spoke, and there were some students attending, but very, very unfortunate that the first day when she started, we had only around 60 students participating, and this has been made on Zoom platform to accommodate 500 people. You understand? So we have been spending money for all these things, and it is for the betterment and development of you students. So you have to make use of it. Don't say that, sir, I had class from morning till evening, then I am little busy with having snacks and tea, coffee, all those things. So you have to sit and watch to such speakers, and they are going to tell you what is good for you to make you as a better person. So on behalf of our university and the IDP scheme of Canvas, I welcome Dr. Vidya Hari, and may I request Dr. Rajalakshmi, Assistant Professor of Veterinary Microbiology, to introduce the speaker, and then Madam will carry over from there. Thank you.
I take this privilege to introduce the speaker of this evening, Dr. Vidya Hari, and basically a BDS graduate of the 1995 batch with lot of degrees. I have a big list in hand. Due to time constraints, she has got a lot of fellowships and diplomates in various aspects of dentistry, and noteworthy is her director role of Smile Dental Clinic, a consultant dental surgeon and implantologist, and as a lead to our topic, a passionate psychotherapist and counselor practicing for over a decade. So an absolute positive woman with a go-getting attitude, and a proud owner of Miss Beautiful Smile 2017 and Dr. Abdul Kalam's Lifetime Achievement Award, and the most recent Miss Shakti 2020. So we have really an honored person amidst our group. So just over to
So good evening to one and all present here. Thank you, Dr. Shankaran, for those kind words, and Dr. Rajalakshmi. It's indeed a pleasure for me to stand in front of you and share with you a few nuances of how to have a better life ahead. Okay, and I'm sure I don't know all of you by name, but I know there is somebody called Naveen here. If Naveen is there, that's Naveen. Okay, hi Naveen. I know Naveen because he's been corresponding in the first two lectures which we have been interacting with. And there's another person called Priyanka. I don't know, is Priyanka here? No? Okay. Was that Priyanka? No? Okay. So anyway, I'm feeling so happy because I've stepped into your college many times before. We had a oral dental camp again in the month of March, but maybe almost a decade before. And why March? Not because of Women's Day though. It was because we have the Oral Hygiene Day. That's on the 20th of March. So that is the reason your college had invited me, and we had come and done the presentation and along with that, a free oral dental screening camp. So it's very nice to again step back into your college and add some value-added education, right? Today, what I have found in life is, of course, I have a 26-year-old practice and I've been a psychotherapist for over 13 years now. In fact, last night I had back-to-back sessions, first yours and then I was addressing the entire Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry. After that, at around 10:30, I received a call from a person, not to tell the name or age, but it was a person, probably one amongst your age group, and had some personal issues, and by the time I could complete the counseling, it was almost midnight. So when I looked into the profile of that person, a very established person, okay? So imagine yourself 10 years from today. I'm sure you all have something to look forward in life, right? Forget the last year. I mean, all of us can have a discounted last year, right? Cinema சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல நடுவுல கொஞ்சம் பக்கத்தை காணும் மாதிரி. So அந்த மொத்த வருஷமே காணாம போயிடுது, right? So that's okay. But more important than that is how exactly are you looking at yourself a year ahead, 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead. And in case you feel that your dreams have not come true, how are you going to handle yourself? Because all of us have only one life, right? And I'm sure all the girls on that side want to have a queen-size life, all the guys on this side want to have a king-size life. Am I right? Yes? But do you have that qualities for you to excel? I was in fact asking Dr. Shankaran, why is that the girls are on one side and the boys on the other? Is this the way you generally sit in the classroom? Yes? Oh my God. Why all this? அந்த சோககதையை நாம கேக்குறீங்கன்னு சொல்றீங்களா? Okay. Great. So today I really wanted to make you laugh. So if you're going to laugh at silly things, that's fine with me. Okay? Because our topic for the day is identifying your inner happiness. Okay? If you all have a notebook and a pen, if you've kept it exclusively for this workshop, then that would be great. Because when I conduct such workshops, I have seen that the person who has followed the teachings of this workshop in 5 years' time has been one among the top 3 achievers of whatever field they have been in. Would you like to be that? Is a question which you need to ask yourself, right? As I follow all this, and that is why I can say very proudly that I'm amongst the top 3, not only in the country but in Southeast Asia, and I feel very proud of myself for that, right? I've been the youngest president of the Dental Association, youngest women president of the Indian Dental Association. So, thank you. This is definitely not to brag about myself, but this is to just tell you that I have applied all this in my personal life and I have achieved something. And it's up to you for the next 1 hour, if you can actually sit down with yourself, take a deep breath and have a revisit into your own internal life and see what you want to get out of it. Is English a good language to talk? Yes, all of you understand English? Perfect. Okay. So we're going to start the session right away. The topic for the day is identifying inner peace. So what is inner peace and happiness? Inner peace, if you can see, it refers to a very deliberate state of psychological and spiritual calmness. Psychological is very important today because even the United Nations, they say that, mental health is supposed to be on the top chart. When we did our 10th standard and 12th standard, I don't think we had so many suicide rates, right? I'm sure all of us must have got hit by our parents if we didn't behave well. But none of us thought of hanging ourselves from the, the fan or something like that, right? We thought we deserved that treatment because we didn't do good, and it gave us a kind of a positive push to do better next time and get good, be in the good books of our parents or elders or whoever it can be, right? Rather, we gave them an opportunity to correct us so that we could be better human beings in life. I can see Dr. Rajalakshmi nodding, which means, we belong to the same category. I remember being hit by my parents, and I don't have, anything against them for that. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud that they corrected me whenever it was necessary. And whatever I am today, I owe it to them. Right? But how many of us allow our teachers to do the same? I'm sure all of you are, getting into newspapers, and you must be reading a lot of articles in which you see that today's children, if you scream at them, the parents also join along with the students, and they come and ask the teachers, how can you hit my ward, right? So at the end of the day, what is it that is happening? If I can hear some noise, I would pick up the students or walk up there and bring you in front. This is how simple I get, right? So the whole idea is that unless you want to have some kind of a course correction, we will never be able to improve in our lives. It's a sad, but it's a fact. So amongst all this, how much are you going to get your inner peace or happiness from? It's something which you need to look into. And if you think there are not going to be challenges in your life, I'm sorry, my dear friends. You will have your own set of challenges. But like I showed you the picture yesterday of the, the Australian golden reef. The side of the reef which is having a high current is so beautiful to look at, right? So life is all about that. How beautifully are you able to handle challenges? And with internal peace, not with internal agitation. So the entire 1 hour today is going to give you a peek into your own lives. So if you want to get the best out of today's presentation, sit down in a very relaxed mode and think. If you don't have a piece of paper and a pen to note down points, at least think over it, and once you get back home, you can really work on it. As I gave you workshop questions in the first two, I'll be giving you workshop questions here also, and I'll be running you through the entire presentation to help you understand yourself better. This is not that I am going to understand you better, but it is for you to understand yourself better. Okay? So peace of mind, that's how, if you associate that, it is with the bliss, the happiness and the contentment. Right? Next is the internal happiness. The internal happiness is definitely not dependent on anything externally. With the word you can understand. If I'm going to say I'm going to be happy only when I get something which is materialistic bound, or only if I, get that person to love me, which is, interpersonal, then I will never be able to find happiness in my life. Happiness is always from within. You need to feel happy with yourself. You must have heard about self-love, right? That's so very important. And this internal happiness basically depends on your genetics and also your state of mind. In whatever situation, you can choose to either react or respond. Correct? Are you going to react, get angry, speak some few words? Or are you going to be calm, composed, and handle the situation so that it is a win-win situation on both sides? Right? So happiness, if you look at it, is a very internal factor. It is definitely not associated with anything external. True happiness is to live in your own company. I'm not sure how many of you know, but if you are in your 30s or 40s, you will realize that, whenever you think about a holiday, what do you really think about when it's a holiday? You want to go to some hill station, be with nature, correct? Experience a kind of a calm life, a relaxed day, get up late, right? And probably eat good food, break off from the monotonous life you have, and then what? Many people sit and meditate, they relax, they calm themselves, and they regenerate themselves. No wonder today, if you look at 10 years back, there were not so many spas around, right? Not so many massage centers around. Why has all that come? Because it also adds, it may be external beauty, but internally, it makes you feel psychological well-being. You feel pampered, right? Somebody is pampering you, how would you feel? Nice? Yes? So that's exactly what it is all about. And this you would get when you are truly in love with yourself. When you want to please yourself first. Okay? This is not selfishness, but it is identifying your self-worth. Many a times people categorize themselves as being tall, short, fat, thin, dark, light, slim, whatever. True? And especially in the student category, I've also felt this barrier of language. You all want to just stick on to people who understand your language, right? Make friends amongst group. But imagine in life, where else will you get this beautiful time that you can get to understand and know each other so well? I don't know how many students here belong to a class, but I think around 40 to 100. One class, strength?
120 in a year.
Okay, so 120 students. How many of you know all your classmates at least? At least within the next 5 years or 5 years of your course? Raja, what does that mean? I don't know. What does that mean? Only he knows everybody, is it? Praveen Kumar. Okay, I'm hearing some names, I don't know what it means. But it's about each of you understanding each other, right? After 5 years, you're never going to even probably see them for years together. But if you don't interact right now, how are you going to build your, space? 2 days back when I was talking to Dr. Shankaran, he was talking about few of the ex-alumni who have done extremely well for themselves. Few of them are collectors, they are in various posts today. If they had not kept in touch with their alumnus or with their seniors, how do you think that they would be, a role model for all of us? Would you want to step into those shoes? If the answer is a yes, what is there in you that you would get there? All this will work out only if you're calm with yourself inside. If there is so much of agitation within your internal body, you will never be able to think with clarity. You will never be able to get that true inner happiness. Okay? And definitely it's a part of personal, getting to know yourself better. Inner peace is the key, and if you have any external problems to handle, you will understand that you'll be able to get a clarity of thought just by being in peace with yourself. Even if you boil water, on the boiling water just show your face. Can you see your face clearly? Not really, right? But let the water calm down and then look into it. Now you'll be able to see your face. If that is the scenario of a water boiling, imagine if you have so much of anger and the kind of frustration in life all bottled up inside you. How is it that you're going to get better life outside? The chance is no, right? But you need to have that internal connect with yourself, and that is very important. And you cannot blame on external things always. Oh, that happened and that is why I'm sad. Or this situation happened, or the pandemic happened and that is why I'm sad. If you're always going to keep your happiness on something else, you'll never be happy. Many a times right now that I'm handling a lot of students, I've been invited by Ethiraj College, I've been invited by many other arts and science colleges to give similar lectures. And what I have found as the common thread is one, the last year has made them feel a little lost. They don't know what their future is like. Two, they don't know what to do if they have 24 hours in hand. The first 1 week you can sleep. Second week you can sleep. After that, how much will you sleep? You feel a sense of uncertainty, a sense of, you don't belong anywhere now. So this is very important. And you should identify your self-worth. What will you do if you have 24 hours in hand? Would you have time for yourself to exercise? Would you have time with your family at home to talk nice words? Would you like to catch up with friends and say a hi? Would you like to really socialize? What is it? You need to think about it. And as this picture says, even in the midst of life's many, many storms, you have the capacity to stand in the center and be in your own peace. Even if the entire universe is in turmoil, if you choose to be silent within, you will be able to conquer the world. Right? So let's look at how this happens. Inner peace begins with the moment you choose not to allow another person or another event to control your emotions. Because from here you will have emotions will go into thoughts will become beliefs, and then that will get into the action part. Right? So it all starts from the emotion. So I want to do an exercise right now. I want you all to, whatever you have in your hand, you can put it down. Close your eyes for some time. Somebody will close your eyes. So we're going to follow some instructions in the next 3 minutes. Think about the moment when you're very happy. achiever. You have made it. You feel on top of the world. You're happy. And you are the catalyst to make others happy. Now, wherever you look, you're spreading smiles. You're spreading positive vibes. You're spreading positivity. And this happiness is having a ripple effect. It's creating many more smiles and happy faces. The world is a better place. You're able to enjoy this happiness. You're thankful. You're grateful because you got this happiness. I want you to rub your hands nicely till you feel the heat on your hands. If you're wearing glasses, take them off and then use your hands to actually touch the entire face of yourself. Do it 3 times, rub again. Place it on your face. One more for the last time. And slowly open your eyes. I would be happy if you can actually, give your feedback on how you felt. Any student who would like to tell how you felt right now? Anyone? If you're talking amongst yourself, that means you're very disturbed within. That means this exercise has no effect on you. Anybody who would want to share their experience? Yes.
I felt very light, and the moment was like it never stopped. It keep on like this only. It felt so relaxed. Mind was so calm, and it was so similar, which we really want always be like.
Thank you. Can you just introduce your name, please?
So my name is Ila, and
Ila.
Yes, I'm Ila.
Okay, Ila. And where are you from?
And I am from Bihar.
Bihar. Oh, I'm going to Bihar next week.
Okay.
To Patna.
Most welcome, ma'am. Yes,
To
ma'am.
Patna.
I am also from Patna, ma'am.
Patna. I'm going there. There's somebody else also who wanted to say. Yeah, you can come forward and use the mic, please. Just introduce yourself and yeah.
I'm Pakatarivu. I felt I belong to somewhere else in my own world. I don't belong here.
You don't belong here. Okay, thank you so much. So I'm sure most of you must be having some similar feelings if you have really made use of this. I saw few of you could not even hold yourself. You were scratching, you were doing things, some mannerisms, which means there is so much of, bottled up things within yourself. I don't want to name people, but I just want to tell you. If you can't spend 5 minutes every day with yourself, I don't know if you've heard this saying by Swami Vivekananda. He says, you're missing out spending with the most important person in this entire universe, and that is you. Every day when you get up, you can follow the same exercise. You can just thank God that you have a life today, show your gratitude, and then, think about all the best things that are going to happen to you today. And that will give you a lot of, goodwill within. That's very important. Right? So, happiness does not come from attaining luxuries. It comes from attaining inner peace. I'm sure you will agree with this. Because if happiness was only a kind of wealth which the rich could have, you would never see smiles on other people's faces, right? It's not about the luxuries. It's, are you happy with what you are and where you are and what you have today in life? Only if you are happy right now can you move into a higher level of happiness. You can work through all that. So how do you experience this inner happiness and peace? You need to first focus on things which you have control. As a student, if I tell you, you have control at what time you can get up in the morning, right? You have control of how you can be a contributor in your own houses. Help your mother, help your father. Find out if there is something which you can do to help them out, right? You can also do some form of exercise early in the morning. Eat good food. Many a times, this is the time when you eat a lot of junk. Correct? And sleep properly too. Many a times I find, the age group of 18 to 25, they say we like to sleep. We are not getting enough sleep. But the problem is you're all gadget, stuck. How many of you can say I'm going to switch off and detox myself from the gadgets? After 10, I don't use my gadgets. It's not till you drop out. Very impressed. That's exactly what I want. Not only one person. All of you should be able to lift up your hands. You should plan. It's up to you, right? And definitely, if you think about being very happy, how many times have you felt very happy when you crossed the road for some old person? Or somebody could not see, you just held their hand and crossed the road. You felt very nice about yourself that day, right? So what is the act of kindness that you're going to do every single day? It's not money. I know you're a student, I'm not asking you to give 10 rupees or 100 rupees to others. No. It's by your work. Can you really do something nice to people around you? The moment you do that, the kind of satisfaction you would get in return is something which money can never buy. Right? How many of you saw the movie Vasul Raja or Munnabai? So in that it was all about hugging each other, right? Correct? And you must remember that scene in which that guy is, sweeping or mopping the floor, and the protagonist just goes and hugs him. And he says, "Oh, sorry, I spoiled the floor." What does he say? He gets angry? He says, "It's okay, I'll clean it." Right? Are you really contributing to people with your act of kindness? That will also give you, inner peace. And you need to declutter. I don't know how many of you have your mothers behind your back saying, "Why is your book covered like this? Why is your, dress covered like this?" Correct? They're always telling us why there is so much of clutter. And if they touch, you will say, "Why did you touch my book and I'm not able to find this and that?" Does that happen? Yes. I can see lots of people smiling, so I think it happens, right? So if that is the case, then you declutter yourself. You see that your area is much clean. By doing all this, you will have a lot more clarity in what you want to do. In fact, there is a study which says that your room, if it is, totally in a mess and you choose to sleep in that room, you will have bad thoughts and bad dreams. So they say, you should always keep your room clean. That is when, you will have a good night's sleep. So how many of you do that? Think about it. Or are you just falling on your books and sleeping? I don't know. So you can see, it's not about just preaching, it's about practicing, right? So that's what we do. This is of course pre-COVID. Now I have to say, before it was, before Christ and after Christ, right? AC and BC. Now we have to say before COVID and after. So this is before the pandemic, where we used to have everyday yoga and practicing kind of mudra therapy and practicing laughter therapy. So if you think you're very stressed, you can just follow these mudras. Just hold your fingers and bring your pointing finger and your thumb close to each other with a pressure point there. Okay? So when you just press, you'll be able to release stress. The other is the Varuna Mudra. You have to hold or clench all your fingers and the little finger pointing downwards. So this is again to have a better relaxation of your mind. So the moment you feel a kind of, some agitation, you just have to follow the Varuna Mudra. And Surya Mudras for weight loss. Many a times I have heard people say, Doc, it's so difficult to even go out. How do you go walking or jogging or gymming or whatever, right? You want to sit and lose weight? Take the ring finger, press and hold it. Okay? So this is helping in better digestion, and definitely if you have any headache also it goes. Next is Apana Mudra. If you see or feel anything which is hurting you internally, as in that you've had something and your stomach is upset and you want to detoxify your system, just hold your body and do this, and you will have energy, positive energy flowing in. This is also called the purification mudra. Agni Mudra, again, is to direct the energy flow within your body. And usually lifestyle diseases, most of them can be cured if you start practicing these ones. And I'm sure you understand that COVID has comorbidities. And what are the comorbidities? You have diabetes, you have hypertension, then you have asthma or any other respiratory diseases, and then you have obesity, right? By just doing this mudra, most of it will be out. Okay? And if you do follow Surya Namaskarams or Sun Salutations, that's another very good entire body workout. So you would see many people who claim that they're able to look younger even as they age. I would rather say age gracefully, especially when you follow these kinds. They might look very old-fashioned if you look at yoga, but then that is the in thing. I don't know how many of you really practice, but then if you start, you'll be addicted to that. So that's a nice thing to get addicted to. How many of you choose the staircase instead of the lift? I don't know, that's nice. But choose it every single time. In fact, when I got into the lift, I was asking doctor, how many floors? And I really wanted to walk up. I use the stairs only. I don't like the lift. Even if it is 10 floors, I prefer that. Are you ready to do that? Every single time, give your body some kind of physical exercise. And of course, being a part of any kind of fitness activity. And just to tell you, I'm not a runner or an athlete or anything. I started my baby steps, and today I can say I'm a half marathoner. So it's all about how you want to really, do some form of physical exercise and get there. And many a times for internal happiness, people think that, you need to eat good food, correct? But it also depends on what time you eat the food. So how many of you have your dinner before 7? Only one. That's nice. I can raise my hand too. My dinner time is 6:30. If you're going to eat your dinner maximum 7, you need at least 3 hours for your body to digest it. I don't know if you know about it. So you can see this is your body, and that is your type of secretion which is necessary for digestion. And there is something called the food transit time. The food, once you put it into your oral cavity and the food travels through your body, can you see if you're eating non-veg, it takes around 8 hours to digest. So, which means you are trying to sleep, but your internal organs are overworking. And that is why the rate of cancer, the rate of heart attack has increased in the young adults. I don't know how many of you or your friends lost their lives last year due to COVID, but in our fraternity, we lost a couple of them. Mostly in the age group of 25 to 35. We didn't have any elderly people losing their lives. But we lost almost around 100 plus people, young dentists, 25 to 35. So if you think that I'm just talking, friends, you need to look back. Because if you're eating late and eating so much, I don't know if you know your controlled food plate. You should have about half the food should be only vegetables and salad. But it's on the contrary, right? Biryani takes the most part. Correct? Better be no from today, right? And just take as much as you can eat. Don't waste food. It might sound very cliche right now, but I want you to understand that it means you're respecting Mother Earth, respecting the farmers, respecting everybody who toiled to get that done. Right? So that's very important. And if you look at this, these are the best times to eat. And there is something called a restricted eating time. It should be at least for 10 hours. And that will help you keep your waist circumference less. The moment your girth of your waist becomes higher, you are in for all systemic diseases. You will not realize this today. Maybe when you're 35, 40, 45, you will start thinking about it. Right? So that's very, very important. And learn to have fun in life. That's me. I'm a very, adventurous kind of a person. I just love to have fun. Whether it is swimming or paragliding or whatever. Water sports, skiing. Wherever I travel, I try to pick up some sport, and that's the Segway. I don't know if you know the Segway. The third picture on the bottom next to the ski is the Segway. I traveled the entire Russia and US, Washington on the Segway. So much fun. This is how you want your life to be. Are you programming yourself to do all that? To live your life? Or you just want to exist? How many of you know how to read Tamil? I don't know. So this is Siripe Marundu, which means laughter is the best medicine. So we follow laughter therapy. I know it's getting late, otherwise I would have done a laughter therapy, a short 2-minute laughter therapy also with you. Next is about happiness and what can happiness give you. So research shows that happiness leads to a lot of benefits. Physical benefits, mental benefits, and biochemical benefits too. The hormones, the happy hormones in your body get secreted. And that internally and externally helps you get a better output and you become a very top achiever in whatever you do. Right? So if you understand happiness, it is not only going to be very individualistic, even though I'm saying you go inside and it is from within, but the end result will always be seen externally. That is why in that 3-minute meditation, I asked you to see others and everybody was smiling and you loved the ripple effect, right? When you smile, the world smiles at you, right? When you frown alone. So happiness, contentment is like, you just have to look into yourself and realize what you want. And sometimes you will feel that, you were searching everywhere, but it was all within you. It's like you're trying to find it somewhere else, that somebody else is going to give you that. And never be in a hurry. Do things very quietly. And do it in a very calm way. And when you do it that way, you will definitely see that you can win over the universe. Because what things or words can't mend, definitely smile and happiness can. Right? That's very important. So this is a beautiful quote. It says, happiness is the new rich. Inner peace is new success. Health is the new wealth. And kindness is the new cool. So things are changing, right? And today we really understand how health is so important. And what is happiness versus joy? Happiness is a feeling based on circumstances, whereas joy is an attitude. I don't know how many of you know that, if you write, say, alphabet A, you give 1, B, you give 2, C, you give 3, and so on till Z. The only word in the English dictionary which would give you 100% marks would be the word called attitude. It's not knowledge, it's not hard work, it's not perseverance, nothing else. It's only the word called attitude. So, attitude is something very, very, very important. Happy people build their inner world, whereas unhappy people always do condemning, criticizing people, or complaining. The 3 C's. So, how long will you condemn people? How can you pull somebody down and go up? Correct? It's never going to be possible. How can you make somebody unhappy and be happy? I don't know if you've seen this beautiful video on the Olympics. And this was the Olympics for the, so-called mentally challenged. And there was a run, and I'm not sure if you've seen this video. And at the shot of the gun, everybody starts running, but somewhere in the middle, somebody falls down. All of them stop. They all come back. They pick up this child. All of them are children. And all of them run together so gleefully till the end. Now, I don't know if I have to call ourselves mentally challenged or those children. Because what they have, we lack. Right? That sensitivity. Being human. We lack that. And that is why they could have so much happiness with it. That's so important. Do we find joy in doing things like that? Or we are very happy that we did something better just because we, went ahead in life when somebody else was left back? A lot of things to point and ponder. So if you look at happiness, it could be mental, which means the inner peace and bliss. It could be emotional, which could be love and compassion. It could be physical, which means it could be health and fitness. And it could be materialistic, which means it could be money and comfort. You need all aspects It's not that you just need one, right? If you want a holistic life, you need to have everything, correct? It is better to sit in an AC room and enjoy, or sit in worry, rather than sit on the floor and under the hot sun, right? Do you agree with me? So you need everything. It is how much of dosage you need of all. I'm sure you're trying to treat animals, right? But I wonder if you can't understand the language of your friends, how are you going to treat the language of animals who can't express themselves? I'm a pet lover. I have 2 dogs. They are my ultimate, bliss. I just love spending time with them. Unconditional love is what you would get from them, right? I know you know better than me. So are you happy? If your answer is yes, keep doing whatever you're doing. But if you're saying no, then do you want to be happy? If the answer is yes, then change something. And if the answer is no, keep doing what you want. It all comes back to the same thing, right? And if you look at the happiest countries in the world, sorry to say you will not find India there. Right? So you see Finland and Denmark on the top list. And this is something which you and I can change. We think these statistics are something where, it's about something else, right? But did you realize you are a part of that statistics? And it's up to us to really bring joy. So these are the 8 factors of happiness. If you have lack of suspicion and resentment, that works well. If you're not living in the past, yesterday was so bad, fine, forget it. Let's think about the next moment. And not wasting time and energy fighting things which you cannot change. Next is staying involved in the living world. And refuse to indulge in self-pity. Don't wait for others to come and say, are you power? Please. Just life is not going to work out that way. Don't get into the self-pity mode. Right? I have been a teacher for the last 26 years of my life. And there's no part of self-pity there. My head is aching. I can't do this. I didn't complete my assignment. It just doesn't work. What are you trying to say? True. So this is something which you need to think and cultivate old-fashioned virtues, which is love, compassion, humor, and loyalty. Today, that word called loyalty is totally missing from the vocabulary of people. Nobody wants to be loyal. Correct? Those were the days when, we said that we belong to this institution and we worked so many years in that. Today it is somebody gives you 500 rupees more, you want to go there, right? Correct? So think about it and don't expect too much from yourself. Accept yourself the way you are and try to be 1% better than what you were yesterday. That's the only way you can improve yourself and find something bigger than yourself to believe that you can achieve. These are the few happiness hacks which we have expressed. I've told you about that. But that's the best thing you can do for yourself. Now, this was a question which was asked for many, people. What does happiness mean for you? I don't know what it means for you, but you should be able to write at least 10 things which you would want to pick up for yourself. Not exactly what is there in that presentation, but what it would mean otherwise also for you. These are the 7 steps to happiness. Fear less, love more. Complain less and appreciate more. Watch less and do more. Judge less and accept more. Talk less and listen more. I know that needs to be improved at least in that category. Anyway, we'll work on that. Frown less and smile more and think less and feel more. Right? ஆனந்தமயமா இருக்காங்க. அதுதான். So how do you find your happiness? As we said, realize that the joy comes from achieving something. Put some target goals and start working on yourself from that. Surround yourself with happy people or people who bring out the best in you. Recall some positive memories and relive that memories or moments, and value yourself and your relationships which you uphold. And I'm not sure if you knew, March 20th also is the International Day of Happiness. So I hope all of you would have a lot of smiles on your faces on March 20th. It's just few days from now. And meet your happy chemicals. I spoke about the biochemical reaction within your body. You have the dopamine, the serotonin, the oxytocin, and the endorphins. So all of these, if you look at it, they are good hormones. Dopamine is a reward hormone. Whenever you achieve something, you feel very nice about yourself. That's the dopamine which works. The oxytocin is a love hormone. I know we just finished Valentine's Day, but then love is in the air always, right? It's up to you. And serotonin is the calm hormone. It gives you a lot of tranquility within. And the endorphins are the willpower hormone. How many of you can say, I will not touch my phone, as I told you? And when you achieve that, you feel very nice, right? So that is when your endorphins work better. And this is the happiness quotient. If you look at all the aspects of your life, they are interconnected. It is not one aspect of your life that you can actually pick out and say that is going to give you happiness. As I told you, you need a holistic way of approach to life. And follow your heart. There is something called the gut feeling, right? So whatever your internal mind is telling you, follow that, right? So most of the things which has been said has been repeated. And this is, what is called the 10 keys to happy living. It's called the Great Dream as an acronym. It's giving, relating, exercising, being aware, trying out something new always, direction, resilience, emotion, acceptance, and meaning. I would pick up trying out right now because you should have every year in your journal that you have done something different which you have never done anything before. I have been following this for the last probably 12 years, and every year I learn something new. It keeps you in the creative mode, and it gives you a kind of a childlike enthusiasm. You'll feel always happy and you'll only spread happiness. So envision the very best and find your purpose. Surround yourself with happy people. Don't point blames on others and make things, make time for things and people, and realize that you are undefinable. If people categorize you, that means you're not growing, right? And as I told you, the acts of kindness which you can follow, I'm sure you must be doing it in your own, way, but if you can follow it properly, then this is what. In that also, as I told you, if you have people around you who are toxic in nature, take them away. They don't deserve you. Okay? And living a quiet life, we did 3-minute meditation. So if you can actually follow a 2-minute at least a day, zip your mouth for some time and really relax, you will really be able to get the best out of your life. And these are proven scientific, studies which has said that this will make you happier. As I told you, have a gratitude diary. Surround yourself with positive people, regular acts of kindness, spend more time with family, and invest in experiences and not objects. Okay? And do some kind of introspection, go within, self-analyze yourself, be a little more critical so that you bring the best out of yourself, and take a look at your past only to understand its life experiences. Don't let that lead your life, right? and get focused in life. And of course, keep exploring new things which excite you, and open up to your friend if you really want help. Okay? And this is a beautiful prayer. I don't know how many of you have heard about this. This prayer came into my life around 19 years back, and it's changed my life completely. Okay? It's called the Serenity Prayer. It says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. So you should know what you can change, and you should be able to do that. And if you can't change certain things, accept it. And you should have that much of wisdom to put your effort only in the things that you can change. Right? And self-love I was talking to you about. All of you are unique, you're special, and you're God's gift. Never think that somebody else is better than you. You are the best. Just try to bring that greatness within you, get exhibited outside. And I hope at the end of the 7-day workshop, you'll be able to definitely get there. It's a nice video, let's go through that.
We all want peace of mind, but often fail to achieve it. We worry about our workload, if money will last until payday, what our friends, colleagues and even strangers think of us. Our minds endlessly circle around everything that could possibly go wrong. Even when we achieve something or solve a problem, we just start to worry about the next thing. Problems are real. We can lose our job. Illness can strike. Relationships fall apart. It feels like our worries will never change and we're all alone. We tend to blindly follow this way of thinking, even if it's unhelpful and makes us miserable. But ultimately, tranquility and anxiety both come from our own minds. To overcome anxiety, we need to build up good habits based on a realistic and much more far-sighted outlook. Simply put, if we want peace of mind, we need to think differently. Guard your mind, the Buddha advised. We shouldn't believe everything we think, but take responsibility for ourselves and actively deal with our problems. Just as we've all got the ability to learn new skills or languages, we can also train our minds to cultivate happiness and peace through meditation. If we spend a moment every morning to set ourselves up for the day ahead, guarding our minds becomes second nature, something that naturally arises whenever we're frustrated or low. To start your meditation, take 3 deep breaths. Imagine your anxieties as a black balloon. All the fears, hopes, disappointments and jealousy. We can burst this balloon by thinking more realistically and using compassion as a tool. Consider the following facts for a few minutes. 1. Interdependence. It's not all about me. Everything arises from countless causes and conditions. We can't blame just one person or situation for our unhappiness, not even ourselves. 2. Impermanence. Sooner or later, everything has to change. Life goes up and down, and we will never be able to control everything. 3. Compassion. We are not alone. Every other human on earth has problems too. Realizing these truths destroys this balloon of anxiety. Imagine a bright light taking its place and rest a little in this peaceful feeling. This short meditation helps turn our mind from self-centered thinking towards a more compassionate view. Caring for other people, however, is scientifically proven to reduce anxiety. We all feel the natural urge to change the people and world around us, but the key lies within our own hands. It's when we change ourselves that we find true peace of mind.
So with that, we come to the end of the session. So what makes you happy is something I would like you to write down. What are the activities that you do every day to make yourself happy? Is the second question. You can always share your feedback, and if you want to share anything in person, you can go ahead. So with that, we come to the end of the session.